Yo, what is going on here? I don't know. It's not showing me. So weird. I don't get it. There we go. What is going on, Stachers? Thank you guys so much for your patience there. I don't know what happened. It kind of got all jazzed around, and but we're here. We're ready to do it, and I'm joined by my good buddy here, Corey from Uplift. We're going to talk about the NFT Minecraft enabled server here, and oh, let's make sure. No, his thing's not working either. What is going on here? I swear Corey's here. You guys will see him here in the background. He's here.
I'll just say things. Hopefully that'll come through.
There he is.
Hello.
There he is. Ayo.
I'm having such massive background envy. Like since going away, I haven't set my green screen back up, and it's like, welcome to my insanity. Yours is so good.
It's all good, man. I painted this myself, so I always want to show it off.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't.
Man, you had me. I would have just gone right along with that. That's amazing.
No, I did not. It's a sweet background I found of the original crypto stash, Albert Einstein.
Nice.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining us here. Sorry about a little bit of technical difficulties there. So I wanted to have Corey here because, you know, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of the Wax blockchain, have been since the beginning. I've supported them all the way through here, and there's been some amazing things that have been developed and are going on Wax that are like just fly underneath the radar sometimes. You know, Ethereum gets a lot of that love, right, Corey? And like I feel like sometimes people sweep wax underneath the rug, and it's like we're like it's the most active blockchain out there, literally pushing the most transactions of any blockchain out there right now.
Yeah. This to me is such a massive buy signal, and I remember the first time I found out about Wax, basically a year ago now, when I first started talking to M Blue and we did that drop for Uplift Art or whatever. And I started looking into it, like, how have I not heard about this before? And it's just like that every single day. And almost everyone that I talk to is the same way. They'll find out about Wax. They'll take a look at all the crazy stuff that's going on here, and they're like, wait a minute, how did I not know about this, right? Which, you know, as somebody who's, you know, I'm holding a little bag of Wax, and I think, you know, our Solana Ethereum moment is just yet to come, right? We're not there yet, right? So like, you know, Wax at 26, $35, not crazy, right? Like crazier, dumber things, frankly, have happened in crypto this year alone. And again, like on blockchains where almost nothing is happening by comparison. So we'll see. And now, is that a totally ridiculous statement? Of course it is. Probably.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So I'm constantly kind of surprised by that too, man. And someone actually posted in chat talking a little bit about EOS. And I think a lot of people get this confused that like Wax is somehow a part of EOS in some sort of way.
Yeah.
But they're 100% not. I mean, their technology that they've created their own blockchain with is based on EOS's original technology. But they have gone well beyond anything EOS has done. They're not controlled by EOS in any sort of way. The EOS token is not linked to Wax in any sort of way. It doesn't have any kind of bearing on it. So Wax is 100% its own blockchain. It just kind of took that technology and made its own blockchain from that. So, I don't, I don't feel like there is any kind of correlation there. But I think people still get kind of confused about that too, though.
Yeah, maybe that's definitely possible. We'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, like nobody's got a crystal ball, but more crazy stuff, good stuff is happening on Wax every week.
Yeah,
to the point where like keeping up with it is impossible.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the community on Wax is amazing. That's one of the things I really love about it. It's incredibly creative. There's so many cool ideas and weird things being developed, versus what you see on Ethereum, where it's a lot of the same stuff kind of over and over and over again. Yeah. It's very limited because of gas fees. There's not a lot of interesting things that you can really do. And Wax is the exact opposite. I mean, you can do all the interesting things, and that's why we're seeing all these crazy projects come up. And when it comes to approachability, Wax is also one of the easiest blockchains to get started with when it comes down to NFTs and gaming in general. With easy entry with the Wax Cloud Wallet. I mean, you just need a social login, sign on, boom, you got your wallet, you're ready to go, and then you can jump into something like Uplift. Because you already have Minecraft. I mean, it's like it makes it so easy. It's like, I don't know how much easier it could be. Some people say, hey, there are no good blockchain games, or blockchain games are they're not interesting to me. I'm like, well, Minecraft is one of the most popular games still in the world, even here 10 years later after it was launched. And that is what the Uplift is all about. So tell us a little bit about the Uplift and how you kind of see that this world that you guys have created, this metaverse.
Yeah, so we have our in-game token called Upliftium. It's withdrawable as an NFT. We've got NFT land. Basically, you can own an NFT that gives you permanent build and maintenance rights on different areas, right? So it's kind of like owning land inside of a metaverse. And we've done, man, I don't know, about 3.5 million in sales this year, which boggles the heck out of my mind to no end. And it really is just the beginning, right? We've got, the number of players, I think, is around 5,000 or 6,000 right now. We're giving out, well in excess of 6 figures monthly between Wax that we're giving out for awards and Upliftium that we're giving out for awards, player awards, right? So we're mapping like player actions. You just go in and play, whether you're building something, mining something, traveling around, exploring, you're going to be, earning points that, every week we pay out in Upliftium and in Wax. And of course, the landowners earn as well, right? So if you create something on your land where a lot of people are coming all the time and, doing all sorts of activities, then, you're going to be earning just even passively, you just build it and let them come. So
if you build it, you will earn.
Right. 100%. 100%. Yeah. And so what we're seeing now is people are starting to do massive events, right? Where, they're encouraging people to come take a selfie by their new Christmas tree. I think RadiQuest did that. I just took my selfie there this morning. And of course, a lot of the interplay, stuff that's going on in world, people are bringing content out of the game, putting it on Twitter, putting it on Discord, and creating kind of an attention engine that is really cyclical, that is really kind of interesting. And then of course we're getting into Punchline Get Thing, where people are able to add themselves to whitelists or get NFTs or whatever. Like that's one of the functionalities that's going to be coming out of the Uplift pretty soon. And shops and NFT stores, people can put up high definition pictures inside the game with QR codes to sell anything, basically. I think that's one of the most I think not underused, people are actually using it a fair amount, but the thing that I think is going to see the most ridiculous epic growth across all of the metaverse iterations, and something that we are I'm really happy to say, I think really prepared for, is just becoming a place for economics, like buy, sell NFTs, but buy, sell Nike shoes. It's not going to matter.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. I mean, there's so much going on there, and like I said, I think that Uplift gives everyone this really big opportunity where, and like I said, that's what I mean. It's just flying underneath this radar when you talk about a game that so many people are playing that can easily just jump in. You don't really need to have a lot of blockchain based knowledge or NFT based knowledge to just get in, start playing, and play on this particular server versus another one, and you can start earning. And that I think is a great entry point for a lot of people of all different ages, right? When you talk about younger kids that grew up playing Minecraft, all the way to people who are our age. We're still young kids and shit. We're still young cats, but I think in general it can appeal to a pretty wide audience of people that maybe haven't had exposure to NFTs or to blockchain based metaverses. And so it makes it an really easy way to jump on board. And that's one of the things I love about it is there's so many ways to earn and get involved. And the community in particular, like I said, is really great. There's a great supportive community. And you guys have built that kind of culture, around, the beginning and launch of kind of your project. Like when you started with this art thing, Uplift Art, right, was the first thing. And it was all really about giving back, and that has translated into the Uplift. And I love the fact that you call, you have the different servers like that, and one of them is called Gratitude. And so, and then you the process of putting these plaques up, these gratitude type of plaques, which I think is really cool too. So there's this culture that's kind of built around what you guys are doing here, not just necessarily like, oh, it's just another Minecraft server, right?
Yeah, it's definitely I like. The fact that we use Minecraft allows us to do 18 trillion things, right? It's basically like open world, and you can build and kind of do anything, which is massive. But it's not Minecraft, right? Like Minecraft is just the layer. It's like, you can use a Chrome browser, but the different websites you use are kind of the different things. But I mean, you're right about the culture that we've been working on building. 10% of our early land sales all went to a Wax account called Uplift Donate. And that's all to build a school in Haiti. We set a goal that I thought was completely and totally ridiculous at the beginning of 2021. And we've since, utterly smashed it. We needed to raise like a little under $500,000 to build a school in Haiti, connected with a group that called Haitian Roots that Amblou and I actually raised money for the year before to help them buy some food. We raised like $30,000 in 2020 to do that, and I was like blown away. Like that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy shit! And then we added a zero and a bunch. So I mean, like we've been trying to do this thing where we, all are playing in the metaverse, we're playing in blockchain and Web3 and all that stuff. We're trying to bring good out into the real world as much as possible. One thing I wanted to mention with the gratitude monuments, this is totally a shill, 100% shill.
Shill away, man.
So 100% shill. So we release shops, which means there's two different kinds of worlds, right? You have your creative worlds and your survival worlds. Mm-hmm. Creative worlds, you buy land there, you can literally have any resource that you want. There's no economy around resources. You build any magical thing you could think of, right? And of course, there's no economy there because you could just magic yourself 50,000 million diamonds and destroy the economy, right? So it's just it's best for artists, for people that want to create galleries or whatever. It's good for that kind of thing. I've been building there mostly, in my own kind of play from the beginning. Huge demand for us to start survival worlds. And that basically you start with nothing, and you're constantly being freaking shot at, and it's very scary, right? Like the mobs, it's now I'm infamous. I suck at this, right? I go in there and I basically need armed guards to build anything because I'm basically a baby, which is terrible. But we launched shops like a month ago, where now you can go in, you can mine diamonds, you can create diamond axes, you could harvest wheat or whatever. You could put it on sale in a shop for Upliftium. Mm-hmm. And people are now able to buy and sell anything you can get in the survival worlds, and people are making good money doing that now.
Yeah,
which
that's awesome.
Floored me. I went in there and finally to start building on my little estate in Gratitude. We actually, this last sale, we started doing estate sales, so you can buy a bunch of land all as a parcel. And I bought one of the little ones, and I wanted to start a little tree farm there. And so I went over to this big shop. These guys are going around to everybody else's little shops and buying up all the stuff and kind of putting it in Walmart for people who just want to buy all the stuff in one spot or whatever. But we're already kind of getting to that aggregation level in the economics. So I bought a bunch of stuff and I went over there, and I'm now starting this little tree farm. explicitly growing birch, which is what I like to make gratitude monuments out of. So I'm, growing all these birch trees. They're ceremonially planted next to a little blue flower. This is all, in the metaverse, in Minecraft or whatever, right? And we're only allowed to harvest them during sunrise, which is when we do our gratitude ceremonies, right? Like it's this sort of thing that you can see in the game. The sun will actually, come up, and it looks really beautiful if you have good shaders on or whatever. So we only allowed to harvest them during that. Then I, put them on sale for people to come in and specifically buy, gratitude birch from the gratitude birch farm to build gratitude monuments. And they are priced so that about a 16 block thing will cost you about $5. But compared to normal birch, that's like just ludicrously expensive.
Yeah.
And this is where, and other shops are trying to do this too. Like my first thing, and this is why I really wanted to get in there and do it myself, right? Mm-hmm. My first thought was, okay, I'm going to do this like kitschy kind of spiritual thing. It's real, right? Like we have imbued value and importance on this stuff, which I find deeply fascinating. Anyway, and we turn around and say, okay, now that I've done this, my next thought was I want to know every single person who's buying so I can give them an NFT. Yeah. Right. So I'm like inventing this functionality that I now need myself. We're totally going to do it, right? You'll be able to, spend some Uplift even in the back office and get a list of anybody who purchased, on your plot or whatever. And then that way, the POAPs or whatever, the proof of attendance protocol stuff that is getting popular now, people are going to be able to do that. And like, by the end of 2022, like we've developed all these framework infrastructure pieces, like where things are at the end of this coming year.
It's gonna be crazy, man. Yeah,
it really, really is.
And that's something that I've talked about here a lot recently. Is standards for infrastructure. When you have these kind of standards that we've been trying a lot of things, and we've been building these metaverses here for the last couple of years with they're blockchain and NFT enabled, and some things have worked and some things have not. And so I think that's we just keep reiterating over something, iterating over it as many times as we need to until you find something like, hey, this works. We've seen it's consistent. It works well within an economy. And, now we can scale it bigger or do bigger things on top of this, And I think that you guys have done a good job of really showing how that works, how you can kind of create a community here around this certain product and then keep building, things that are going to help with it. Right. So the latest launch here with shops is a pretty cool thing, and giving more utility obviously to your in-game token too, which is always a big thing when you're talking about what is the utility of this token, how can I use it? Great, I can earn it, but what do I do now? Like how and Uplift has quite a few different use cases across a lot of different things. So even if you're not huge and doing a bunch of stuff in on the Minecraft server, you can use it in other ways too. So I think that's one of the cool things about it.
Yeah, we actually just launched Lithium Wax staking on Pludak in the community pools.
Awesome.
So that's fun.
Yeah. So there you go. Once again, another application. If you're just a DeFi degen, then you also can be using Uplift there too. Yep. So one of the cool things that's we've kind of partnered here on, which I wanted to show real quick here. I'm gonna pop up the image here on screen. Is we're doing what I'm calling the Holiday Stache Uplift Builders Contest, and doing kind of a winter holiday themed contest for everybody that wants to jump into the Uplift and get their hands dirty and build something cool and interesting. And we got a bunch of prizes, right? So this is going on through the 20th. Here we got a couple more days still to get building. So even if you're, if you just are hearing about this, you can still sign up at the link there on the screen and, get going. And we have a bunch of really great prizes, including Uplift land for some of the top builders there. And the cool thing about this too is you don't even need to have land to get started. Like you literally just sign up and we'll get you a plot to get started building on, and you can jump in. So it makes it really easy to jump in this contest. And once again, an easy way to get onboarded and check out Wax if you have not been able to do so, and see exactly what it really takes to be on here. And it's not a lot. That's
That's awesome
for everybody.
Yeah. I love that, man. Like there's been a few of the Christmas things. I think the build competitions they're so much fun. I think like one thing I'll mention too that's going to come out. I'm hoping Q1 of next year. The generative art or the PFP projects. Of course, when you mentioned Ethereum, like there's another PFP project dropping on Ethereum every 65 seconds right now.
Yeah, at least.
And just to the point where it's there's a lot of noise there, but there's a lot of demand there too, right? Like, people are really loving like anything that is one of one is is super interesting. The generative art things, I think, prove that as well. So what we're going to have is a burn upgrade system where you're going to be able to burn your land NFT and then send us a picture. We might even just use a 3D voxel of the actual land piece itself to make it into a one-on-one NFT. So those build competitions are have the potential to down the road become iconic one-on-one pieces of NFT art that are cool. Also act as the NFT Nike.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So like something that is so epic, it's representative, and you want to like kind of immortalize it forever.
Right. Or even like, if you want, like, buy up a piece of land, build something and flip it.
Sell
right.
The
like
whole
I think
thing.
like,
right. Yeah.
Right. If you build value, of course it'll cost some, uplifting to convert it or whatever. You're basically, increasing the value proposition. It's not just like a random piece of land or whatever. It's like a piece of land where the second you see it on Atomic, you're actually going to see what's built there.
Right.
I think it's going to be
cool. A giant stash.
Exactly. Right.
I have my
it is amazing.
The castle. It's kind of like my version of like Superman's like Fortress of Solitude. It's like the Fortress of Stachitude, and it's a floating island and stuff like that. Yeah, so cool things like that. You could immortalize and say, hey, this is the thing, and you're right. It gives more value there, and that's something that we're not seeing on any other metaverse. There's no other people doing that. That's what I mean. There's a lot of really good innovative things happening here on Wax, and the creativity that you can have with Minecraft, because people are already so familiar with it. They are familiar how to build. They understand the limitations, and it's already fleshed out, versus some of these other metaverses where it's like, okay, well, it's a brand new system you have to learn. Everything is a learning curve, because we're building our own custom thing. And this is something that is kind of more plug and play for people because they're familiar with it already. It's already been around.
And the game design, like how I hear many times a day about people that have never played Minecraft before that are coming in and starting that out. Because like the game itself is really easy to onboard yourself, right? It's designed for 8-year-olds. It works really well. Even I can learn how to play it, except in survival worlds, I need arm cards. But still, people figuring that stuff out and getting more and more fascinated about it. And I hear this at least every other day, people bringing their kids in to teach them how to do it, which, is one of my favorite parts about, and really, like, starting in the pandemic, this started in large part because we opened up a server that we were kind of messing around, doing some podcasting from it, kind of media research, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And pandemic started, and we just started inviting people to come in and hang out. And people like Sue Gentry, who is now famous in Chicken Con, doing a bunch of crazy builds over there. She brought her daughter in, who didn't live in the same town. They weren't able to see each other or whatever. They were hanging out every single day, right? They'd get on a Zoom call and be able to talk back and forth, and they were just in building and experiencing things together in a place. And that's really what hit me the most in the heart, knowing that we had to, like, just whatever it took for me to try to get this stuff on, because that really was the stickiness. Like that's what really kind of added value for them. In that time, just to be able to feel like you're legitimately in a place together doing some cool stuff. And you can actually see the ranch that they built. It's in Old World, I think just south of the Cathedral 2.0. It's still there.
Wow, very cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I think that's important. And I remember the first time I got Minecraft for my daughter. I think she was like maybe 7 or something. Maybe I think she was about 7 years old. I had never played Minecraft. I'm not gonna lie, man. I had never played Minecraft. It was never really my, it was not it's not the type of game that I normally would play. Right. And so, we got it, and she's like, how do I play this? And I go, I don't know, man. You got to figure this out. So she got really frustrated because she, because I didn't give her like a manual or anything. I was like, just figure it out, mess around with the buttons. That's how we always used to do it. There was never all these online videos and like ways of like, tutorials that were easily accessible. It was just like, get in there. Here's the buttons. Just figure out how to do it with all the buttons, like, And so I just kind of let her do it, and she got frustrated for a second, and then like was like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not, And then like a couple weeks later, I got her to go back in, and she figured it out, and then she showed me like, here's how you do it. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, that discovery. I mean, it never ends, right? There's so much complexity in the gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, somebody was telling me about Elytra wings in the survival worlds, where if you kill the dragon at the end, we do like end events where we kind of open up this other part of the Minecraft gameplay or whatever, and it's fun, and everyone goes in there and kills this big dragon. It's a whole thing. But you can get Elytra wings from it, and even in survival worlds where mostly people are like using the rails or walking around or whatever because there's no flying. You can like zoom around all over the place, and you can buy them from some of the shops. I think it was like $500,000 Upliftium which I'm not mistaken is like $4 or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, that's not bad actually.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like I thought it was expensive, and they were like, no, that's actually pretty cheap. Well, cool. I didn't know. Like that sounds good. And I was talking to my cousin Jen, who works with us. She's like, man, like, have you tried these things? And she's like, no, I tried them once, and she basically just flew into walls and killed herself the whole time. So like this whole thing where you can buy wings, like basically a jetpack. And in survival worlds, you're going to end up dying more often than not because they're really fast. Yeah. So anyway, just as awesome. One thing. And then there's potions and like all this crazy stuff I'm never going to get into because who's got the time?
Right. I mean, but that's the whole point is to go and explore that stuff and have fun and, learn and grow and enjoy it, and kind of, get the experience out of it. And so, like I said, I think that you guys have done a really great job of just continuing to iterate on that experience, provide more value to people, provide a really good play to earn. I know people, like you said, are actually can be earning a pretty good amount off of this on the weekly. And so people are always asking me, Stache, what are the best play to earn games? And I'm like always throwing them out there. And sometimes people, they just they can't believe some of the numbers and some of the things they do. And like there's so many of them, so it makes it hard for people to like, well, what do I choose? Where do I go? And anytime anyone asks me, I go, if you already know Minecraft, then go check out the Uplift, man. Go check out Uplift. And a lot of people are always thinking like, well, it's going to be on Ethereum. It's going to be on Ethereum, maybe on Solana. But I mean, there's so much going on Wax. It just boggles my mind. Like I said, that more and more people are not trying to dive in. I'm still incredibly bullish on it. And, I don't see Wax slowing down as a community anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Corey, man, here, thank you so much for joining me once again, man. Before we get going here, are there any last little nuggets of goodness, something that you want to drop here for the community? Maybe some undropped little nuggets that we can snack on till the next time. Something that maybe you shouldn't tell us, but we'll keep your secret, Stache. We'll keep your secret.
Get out of my head, Stache. Yeah, there's something I totally want to drop as a bomb.
We won't tell anybody.
I definitely can't.
You should though. You should just do it and YOLO, man.
It rhymes with cow. Anyway, so
you don't mean things wrong with cow, damn it.
Yeah, so many things. Yeah, no, they're like 2022. Even the first part of 2022, like there's huge changes that are very, very, very likely. Like nothing's been announced because it's not announced yet for a reason, right? I don't want to get ahead of the team or whatever, but we think constantly about we leveraged everything about blockchain and cryptocurrency that we needed to leverage to make this experience work, right? So me specifically, I'm not a maximalist around or an ideologue around decentralization or any of these things. I just want to make it work. Give me an MVP that makes it work. So I've actually met a lot of people who are maximalist on those things that just end up making a product that doesn't mean anything because they're just, they're going backwards from the maximalist version of the technology backwards, which makes something that is useless for humans. Right? It's often, not all the time, but sometimes. 2022 is going to be very, very huge for the Uplift in terms of decentralization. Let's put it that way.
Perfect. I love it. That was enough nuggets there. I think people in chat they're getting it. And I said I put my vote in, and I said, is it going to be WoW? Wow, like World of Warcraft Uplift? That would be interesting too.
Cool. We're not that cool. One thing I will say, so PvP is something that we get requests for all the time.
Yeah.
One of the things we're going to be releasing at some point, I think this will probably be Q1 as well. Like once we get social logins done, that kind of expands a whole bunch of things for us in the future here, near future. Is taking a region or taking your whole region and turning PvP on, player versus player. Mm-hmm. So places like the Coliseum, there's multiple Coliseums now that are growing up. Like you can basically turn your plot into a big kill fest or whatever. We're actually doing an event in the Coliseum that got built in Genesis. We're going to be doing a copy of it. You'll basically be able to beam into it from portal into it from Old World, from the main thing. You're going to be able to get tickets, even if you don't land or whatever. You're going to be able to buy a ticket to come in and see 10 people beat the ever crap out of each other to try and earn some money. We're going to have 10 players. NFTs for the winners, a big pile of wax for the winners. Like it's going to be a whole thing.
Awesome.
I think we're in the process of announcing that today. I think and it got announced in Discord. We're trying to pick the best time for it, right? So we're letting people in the Discord decide whether we should do it like next week or early January. I'm kind of I hope they pick early January.
You know they won't.
A little bit more time to.
They like, give me the goods now, damn it! I don't want to wait.
No, and it really makes, because I think I planned it out so that I think it's small enough so that we should be able to do it really, because I want to get in there and like show people like this is one of the things we're going to be able to do, and we're going to be able to do it a lot, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. So I think like that the gameplay variant, like the biggest video games on the face of the earth, like the biggest video game companies, they're doing these events, right? Like they're doing competitive esports kind of stuff. And so we figured, if we can have a big, huge gladiator ticketed events kind of thing where people can earn money by getting their Minecraft armor on and beating the shit out of each other. Yeah, fuck it, why not? And there's like all sorts of different kinds of like games and competition and stuff too. Oh, check out, have your fans check out. I think it's the Swaplift Cup. I know Uplift Twitter. They're doing like these ice boat races on ice, which is freaking hilarious. They're going to be doing a bunch of events around that. I think the non-fungible gang, the NFG gang, is promoting a lot of that stuff too. So they're again, like the number of events that are popping up over and over and over again, like they're now like builds, stuff I can barely keep up with. And I'm so deeply excited and honored that that's happening, right? Like this is now Stache pretty far beyond where I thought we would be in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And getting to the point where like I can really, really clearly see that like the most ridiculous version of how this would go in my head is actually where we're headed. Which
That's
is
awesome.
Really fascinating. Yeah.
I'm glad to be along for the ride and be a landholder and supporting you guys here since the beginning. It's really great to see this growth, and love having you on the channel here, Corey, and appreciate your time, man, hanging out with us and telling us all the good stuff. And everyone out there, go get in the Holiday Stache build. It's going on for a couple more days, and I'll stick the link here in chat again for you guys at the end. And before we leave, I want to show everybody just a little touch of one of the submissions that have already come in. That was actually pretty good. So I'm gonna go pop over on this real quick, and we'll leave you guys with this as we go out.
That's awesome. That's so good. That's on Gratitude, hey? We actually we visited that today. I had no idea it was part of the build competition. We were just like wandering around some of the Gratitude builds in there, and we didn't go in. So I think there's like so much more in there that we didn't even see. Good music choice too. Well played. Nice.